Remember when Angel Reese was calling out Caitlin Clark fans for being hostile and toxic? Well, this is awkward. The WNBA just concluded their investigation into alleged inappropriate comments against Reese at the Indiana Fever game, and the results are devastating for her credibility. Zero evidence. No recordings, no credible witnesses, nothing but social media chatter. Tyler Marsh, her own coach, confirmed he heard nothing during the entire game. The WNBA released a statement today, essentially clearing Fever fans of the misconduct allegations from the Fever Sky game, the season opener for both teams. So the question everyone's asking now is, did Angel Reese and her supporters just manufacture drama to target Caitlin Clark and Fever fans? And how did instant karma hit all those that fueled the allegations, including some notable ESPN reporters? You know what's wild? The WNBA launched a full investigation into these alleged racist comments, and guess what they found? Absolutely nothing. On May 18th, the league put out official statements about condemning hate and discrimination, making it sound like something serious went down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse during the Fever versus Sky game. They used all the right language about racism having no place in the league or society. The Indiana Fever immediately cooperated, releasing their own statement confirming they were working with the investigation and remained committed to providing a safe environment for all players. It is embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. And the fact is that originally it's, oh yeah, we're looking towards everything. Then they had to double down. They actually redacted this statement. They redacted a statement. They redacted the statement saying we're looking at everything, saying no, we're actually not looking at most of the stuff. We're looking at a lie spread on social media that went viral. We are looking into a literal lie spread on social media that got spoken into fact. We're looking at a lie, but this is where things get interesting. Nobody at the actual game heard anything suspicious. Coach Tyler Marsh straight up admitted his team had no clue about any hate speech until they saw it blow up on social media later. When reporters asked him when he became aware of the alleged racist remarks, his answer was brutally honest, when everyone else did. Think about that for a second. The head coach of the Chicago Sky, sitting right there on the bench, had zero knowledge of any inappropriate comments directed at his own player during the entire game. The Sky organization was completely blindsided, learning about their own player's alleged experience through Twitter posts and viral videos rather than from Angel Reese herself or anyone else who was actually present. This timeline makes zero sense if something genuinely happened during the game. Media members who were courtside covering the game remained silent about hearing anything inappropriate. Security footage revealed nothing noteworthy. Audio recordings from the arena turned up zero evidence of racist comments. The WNBA's investigation involved gathering information from fans, team, and arena staff, plus a comprehensive review of audio and video from the game. They left no stone unturned. Even the Indiana Fever organization cooperated fully, remaining confident their fans weren't involved in anything inappropriate. The Fever's willingness to participate openly in the investigation shows they knew their fanbase had nothing to hide, because now Indiana Fever players, are getting called into question. Indiana Fever fans are getting called into question today. We got one post on here where somebody's literally calling that they're talking about there should be a boycott. That's what it really is, of the All-Star game over player safety. The investigation basically turned into the WNBA chasing ghosts based on social media rumors and unverified claims. For 9 days, the league dedicated resources to tracking down evidence of something that apparently never happened. They reviewed every available piece of audio and video footage. They interviewed arena staff, team personnel, and fans who were in the vicinity. They examined security camera angles from multiple positions around the court. On May 27th, the WNBA announced the conclusion of their investigation with a simple but devastating statement. The allegations of racist fan behavior during the game had not been substantiated. After all that noise and official statements, the league found exactly what everyone at the game already knew. Nothing happened. No racist comments. No inappropriate fan behavior. No evidence whatsoever to support the viral claims that had dominated social media for over a week. The league is also taking a BL because there's no apologies to any fans whatsoever on this totally BS statement released by the WNBA. Yeah, you found nothing. That's great. That's accurate. Guess who told you would find nothing? The entire Indiana Fever fanbase said you weren't going to find anything. But this league that has never turned a profit decided to accuse their own fans of this whole situation. Exposed how quickly false narratives can spiral out of control in today's social media world. The WNBA felt compelled to launch a full investigation based purely on online chatter and unverified social media posts. Meanwhile, everyone who was actually present at Gainbridge Fieldhouse that day knew the truth from the beginning. The disconnect between what happened in real life and what exploded online couldn't be more obvious. Angel Reese's credibility just took a massive hit, and everyone who amplified these false allegations without evidence should be asking themselves some serious questions about their role in spreading misinformation. So I do appreciate them following up and clearing the air. However, the air should have never been dirty in the first place. This story put a stain on the start of the WNBA season. There was no question about it. It continued to paint a narrative around Fever fans and Caitlin Clark fans that is not fair, and in this case was totally not warranted. Let's talk about how this whole controversy actually started, because it wasn't from anyone who was actually there. The allegations began circulating through viral social media posts and videos, but none contained clear audio or video evidence of untoward comments. You had anonymous accounts posting clips with vague claims about what fans supposedly said, but when you actually listened to the audio, it was either unclear or completely missing. The social media posts were doing all the heavy lifting, filling in gaps that the actual footage couldn't support. You know what's crazy? The people pushing this story the hardest were the same ones who weren't even at the game. These social media users started sharing clips within hours of the Fever versus Sky game ending, making bold claims about what happened without any concrete proof. They took grainy footage with background noise and turned it into definitive supposed. The problem is, when you actually examine these viral posts, the smoking gun evidence just isn't there. The audio quality was poor, the context was missing, and the alleged comments couldn't be clearly identified. Social media users began filling in the blanks, turning speculation into assumed facts within hours of the game ending. This is where the whole thing went off the rails. People started quote tweeting and resharing these unverified claims, adding their own commentary and assumptions about what supposedly happened. Each share added another layer of certainty to what were essentially unproven allegations. The original posts became gospel truth through the simple act of repetition across different platforms. The Chicago Sky's PR team made things worse by limiting press access and restricting follow-up questions from reporters trying to get clarity. When reporters attempted to ask follow-up questions about the situation, Sky PR staff would shut down the conversation. One reporter tried to dig deeper into the flagrant foul discussion, but a Sky PR staffer jumped in with, "She already answered this question," effectively ending any chance for clarification. This tight control over media access looked suspicious and only fueled more speculation about what really happened. Meanwhile, actual attendees and media members who were sitting courtside remained suspiciously quiet about hearing anything inappropriate. These are the people who would have been in the best position to hear any racist comments directed at players. Sports reporters, camera operators, team staff, and fans sitting in premium seats all stayed silent about witnessing the alleged incidents. Their silence speaks volumes when you consider how quickly they usually report on controversial moments during games. But the telling admission is, "We found out," or "I found out when everyone else did." When did you become aware? When everyone else did. What does that indicate? That the Sky did not know or did not hear anything in real time or see anything in real time. So that makes the Sky, that makes the Fever, that makes me, that makes everyone I talked to who was in the arena, everyone else who has spoken from the arena. The viral nature of the claims created this echo chamber where people were sharing and resharing unverified information as gospel truth. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok became breeding grounds for misinformation as users competed to have the most outrageous take on the situation. The algorithm rewarded engagement, so the most inflammatory posts got the most visibility. Users who questioned the evidence or asked for proof were quickly shouted down by the mob mentality that had taken over. That makes no cameras, no cell phones. So far, no nothing. To substantiate the alleged hateful fan comments or fan misconduct or however you want to label it, which makes me question mightily what the investigation is based on. And I would love to hear on the record what the investigation is based on, because based on all the information we have, the leading theory has to be it's based on the social media nonsense. Chicago Sky head coach Tyler Marsh's admission that he learned of the allegations when everyone else did completely destroys the narrative that something obvious happened during the game. If racist comments were loud enough and clear enough to traumatize a player, surely the coaching staff sitting right there on the bench would have heard them. Marsh's statement proves that even the people closest to Angel Reese had no idea anything inappropriate had occurred until social media told them it did. What we're seeing is a textbook case of social media creating a controversy where none existed in real life. The disconnect between what happened at Gainbridge Fieldhouse and what exploded online couldn't be more obvious. This pattern should make everyone more skeptical about viral claims that can't be backed up with concrete evidence. Remember when Angel Reese was calling Caitlin Clark fans toxic and hostile? Well, this situation just backfired spectacularly. Reese has spent months criticizing Clark's fanbase for being aggressive and creating negative environments in women's basketball. She painted herself as the victim of an unruly fanbase that supposedly made the sport less welcoming for other players. Her narrative positioned Clark supporters as the problem plaguing women's basketball culture. Of course, she didn't substantiate the allegations because they were baseless rumors spread online by Angel Reese fans. But now, she's at the center of allegations that appear to be completely fabricated, targeting the exact fanbase she's been attacking. The WNBA investigation found zero evidence to support claims of racist comments from Fever fans. This puts Reese in an incredibly awkward position. She spent so much time criticizing the behavior of Clark's supporters, yet when the league conducted a thorough investigation into alleged misconduct by those same fans, they found nothing. The situation gets even messier when you consider that Angel Reese allegedly reshared a TikTok video that mocked Caitlin Clark. The video included multiple photos of Reese and an image of Clark following her flagrant foul on Reese during the game, with the caption, "White girl running from the fade." This action has been seen as a provocative move, further fueling the existing rivalry. So while Reese was busy condemning toxic behavior from other fan bases, she was apparently engaging in her own questionable social media activity targeting Clark directly. This was put out right here. Again, hell, I thought it was fake originally. And I guess it's not. I mean, it's crazy. White girl running from the fade. There's Angel Reese right there. There's, of course, Caitlin Clark doing the responsible thing, not wanting to tank her public relations. Like Angel Reese walking away after the tank foul the other night, or the other day against the Chicago Sky. The contradiction is stunning. Someone who complained about manufactured drama just became the source of the biggest manufactured drama of the season. Reese's past comments about Clark fans being problematic now look like projection, especially given how this investigation turned out. She spent months pointing fingers at other people's behavior while potentially contributing to the exact kind of hostile environment she claimed to oppose. Her supporters on social media were quick to amplify these unverified claims, creating exactly the kind of hostile environment she claimed to oppose. The same people who criticized Clark fans for being too aggressive immediately jumped on these allegations without waiting for evidence. They shared posts, made inflammatory comments, and created a mob mentality around unproven claims. The situation revealed the massive double standard at play. The Chicago Sky organization had to issue damage control statements while trying to protect a player who may have contributed to false allegations. Team management found themselves in an impossible position, caught between supporting their player and dealing with the fallout from unsubstantiated claims. The organization's careful wording in their statements suggested they knew the situation was problematic from the start. ESPN personalities who initially supported Reese's version of events had to walk back their comments on live television once the facts emerged. Chine Ogwumike, during a discussion on the investigation, stated Reese's credibility just took a massive hit, and her previous criticisms of Clark's fan base now seem hypocritical and unfounded. This whole mess raises serious questions about whether Reese and her supporters are the ones actually making women's basketball more hostile. The investigation results suggest that the very people complaining about toxic behavior might be the ones creating it. This investigation proves that we need to demand real evidence before destroying reputations and creating division in women's basketball. The WNBA found zero proof supporting these allegations. Yet social media ran wild with unverified claims for over a week. Support players like Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston, and the rest of the Indiana Fever who focus on elevating the game instead of manufacturing controversies. These players show up, perform at elite levels, and let their basketball do the talking. The 2025 WNBA season should be about celebrating talent and growth, not chasing social media phantoms and false narratives that only damage the sport we're trying to build.